What's up YouTube? Speedkeeper for Life here. I'm here with another advanced F2L tip tutorial. It's a practice method that should help you with your process of getting faster with your F2L, mainly F2L transitions. One of the basic things a lot of guys say with look ahead is when you're practicing your solves, you want to slow down and look ahead. You want to scramble the cube, solve your cross, and when you find your first pair, once you are in the process of inserting that pair, you want to be looking for a second pair around the cube. But that is very difficult to do when you're timing yourself on the computer, because typically you're turning almost as fast as you can, or whatever your turning style is, and it's very difficult to find and track a second pair, especially if you can recognize and execute that first pair very fast. Because with me, most of my F2L cases, I can recognize and execute them in probably a little over a second or a little over 2 seconds, and that's not really enough time, especially with the fast turning, to find another pair and track it while I'm doing that. I get a lot of fast, choppy solves like that. What I found that really helped me out with my F2L is something that a lot of guys might think is a little bit weird, but it works for me, and it's worked for a couple people that I've mentioned it to, so I decided to make a video and show it to the public. So you guys tell me what you think. So you're going to, where did that blue one go? You're going to solve your cross normally, and instead of finding a pair and inserting it, and as you insert it, finding a second pair, you're going to find a pair, you're not going to insert it, you're going to find a second pair, this orange blue one here, and you're going to insert the second pair while you're tracking the first pair. And what this does is it gets your brain used to subconsciously noticing F2L cases move around the cube as you insert a pair, and it transfers over to your solves. You'll notice that after doing this for a couple of solves and you go to solve again, you'll notice that your transitions will slowly get better and better over time. So as I found this red-green pair, and then I found this blue-orange pair. So I'm going to insert the blue-orange pair, and the idea is that you want to be able to insert both pairs without a pause. You want to be able to follow that second pair throughout the insertion of that first pair, which is what basic F2L look ahead is, except for instead of solving a pair and then looking for a pair, you've already found the second pair and you solve the other pair. It basically allows you to skip the process of finding the next pair because you already know where it is because you found that one first. So you insert the second one and track the first one. So I'll do that again here with this red blue and this orange green here. Unnecessary cube rotation, but you get the point. You want to be able to insert both pairs as smooth as possible, and this transfers over to your F2L when you're solving, because you'll notice as you do solves, like I noticed this probably within a couple days when I first started using this practice tip. I noticed that my F2L times dropped probably by about 2 seconds overall within a week of using this practice tip. I noticed that my transitions were extremely fast. My pauses I have reduced significantly. But the concept behind this is it's a little weird at first, finding a pair, not inserting it, but then finding a second pair and memorizing what the first pair was. It sounds weird at first, but it really does help subconsciously. You won't notice it mentally while you're doing it, but you'll notice it subconsciously in your following solves, that your ability to notice pairs, like you're looking for your second pair while you're actually solving, like timing yourself, it'll increase over time. It'll get better with this practice tip. So I'll do another scramble, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about one more time. So you solve your cross normally, and you're going to find an F2L pair. Here I find this red-green pair. I'm not going to insert it, I'm going to find a second pair, and I see I have this blue-orange pair. So I'm going to solve this blue-orange pair, but follow this red-green pair, which I found first as I solved the orange pair. As you see there, I solved both cases without a pause in the middle because I was tracking this red-green pair the entire time. And that is the hardest part about F2L, looking for that second pair. It's not that you don't know how to insert it, because once you have all the cases in muscle memory, that's the easy part. It's locating that pair while you're turning at fast speeds that's the hard part. And I think this practice method will really help you subconsciously. Like what it does is, I think when you're solving that second pair and tracking the first pair, it gets your eyes and your mind used to what F2L pairs look like as you solve the cube. So once you transfer it over to solving normal speed, your brain will notice F2L pairs much easier because you've been practicing that. Even though you're turning at fast speeds and not thinking about it, your brain subconsciously will recognize that. So I have this red blue here and this green orange here. I did pause a little bit, but the camera was in the way a little bit, but you get the idea. The object is to solve your cross normally. You can even solve it blindfolded if you wanted to make it a whole like practice routine. Solve the cross blindfolded, that'll help you with your cross. And then find an F2L pair, don't insert it, find a second F2L pair, insert the second pair while tracking the first pair. This will help your mind subconsciously get better at tracking pieces around the cube. And then for your Ola and Pilo, you can just solve those normally. And that's all I got. I hope this tip helps. Leave comments, any questions, you guys feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope this helps.